Hi, good afternoon. I am Travis Lee, and I'm presenting you my discussion on active shooter incident DMH response. The strategies identified that would be beneficial as a responding mental health support provider at an active shooter incident with casualties would be first to assess the emergency stage. My involvement would begin in the response phase, moving toward recovery from the details described. Hopefully, the immediate emergency and threat are decreased. However, I would observe the scene and respectfully introduce myself as I ask questions before assuming the site is safe. Using the SOTA model, I would stop and assess the situation while checking my stress level and build relationships. Exploring the options of how to respond when deciding how to implement the services to survivors as I put the plan into action. The population exposure model would probably be the most appropriate means of distinguishing whom to target first for behavioral health services. Following the order of the population exposure model would probably simplify the process to better care for the needs of survivors. Creating a safe and encouraging environment is ideal. However, chaos can devoid survivors of comfort and security. Attend 2016 acknowledged that disaster settings are generally chaotic, noisy, and lacking privacy. However, a therapist spiritually in tune with the emotions can create an environment that fosters a less stressful experience. The understanding is that specific mental health counseling interventions may not support the event survivors during crisis or meet their needs. Berglund proposed that mental health professionals agree that the most commonly used techniques for counseling therapy are not an effective method for counseling those in immediate aftermath of a crisis or terrorist type event. The importance of coordinated efforts and communicating with other organizations and administrators to determine the order, availability, and need is crucial. Designation of process for informing families of those who lost their lives in the tragedy is imperative. Schools can have plans notifying parents. However, poor communication strategies can cause further trauma. It is crucial to have post-crisis plan that includes communicating in a way to move towards the recovery phase. Heffelfinger 2006 addressed that regardless of how well you plan, you will not have properly planned if you neglect the recovery phase of crisis response, noting that recovery marks the beginning of the next round of planning. What I have experienced in my career has not been related to an active shooter event except in training for and planning to respond to events during training with Federal Bureau of Prisons Disturbance Control Team. However, the experience taught me to respect the need for clear communication, sensitivity in addressing the needs of survivors. I learned that in crises, roles or scope can change instantly because emotions involved in trauma. Constantly assessing personal fitness and mental health awareness is essential to serve others effectively. Going into a crisis requires an open heart, faith, and strength in the Lord. Philippians 4, 6, and 7 tells us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ." I thank you for watching my video, my presentation. I hope you have enjoyed it. Have a great evening. Thank you. Be blessed.